So we're at Wen Exmoors, and we're thinking about what makes an Exmoor different to any other breed, because they are quite unusual and they do have quite interesting features. Can you tell us about that, Bruce?
Yes, well, they tend to have bigger heads than other breeds, and part of that is their survival capabilities as well. They have plenty of room for their teeth. The teeth should not be crowded, so they have quite a wide jaw and a deep jaw to allow the teeth plenty of room to develop and for efficient grazing. The teeth, of course, should meet in the front. The incisors should meet perfectly so that they can bite off the herbage efficiently. Then coming to the face, it should be a broad face with plenty of room for the nasal passages to breathe in and warm the air that they're breathing in. Again, the forehead should be broad. Plenty of room for the brain, I suppose.
Absolutely.
And the ears should be small and pricked and alert, giving a bright, alert expression.
So is this all sort of tying in with their survival instinct and where they live? They don't just live like we look after horses today and many horses live. They actually have to survive, don't they?
They do, and still to this day down on Exmoor and on top of our wild hill, they have to have the ability to survive the winter weather. Perhaps you can say a bit about their coat.
Yes, they have a distinctive pattern of whorls. They have a simple whorl in the middle of the forehead, midline, about eye level. And then they don't have many whorls on the neck, but they have a set of whorls at the flank. And
yes, they're very important for the shedding of water, the ones in the flank.
Yes, the whole coat is designed to shed water, so that the underneath of the belly is kept dry. We might be able to see some later on showing this pattern, because it's wet enough outside at the moment.
Yes, it is absolutely soaking outside, so I think we should be able to see that, hopefully. So again, I mean, that's just not like a horse that's got attractive markings or these balls or interesting things just because they're interesting. It's to do with their survival.
That's right, yes, very much so. And they should have a good thick winter coat. There's a thick undercoat and a longer, springier top coat, which again is helping to protect them against the weather and keeping them warm. In summer, their coat is hard and bright and shiny, and again they're well protected against the elements.
I'm thinking about their hooves, and they've got little black hooves, and you said about that having white underneath is a bit of a problem. Are they quite tough?
Yes, their feet are very tough. They have few problems with their feet, really. On Exmoor, the feet are never trimmed.
No.
There's enough hard, gravelly surfaces to keep them worn down. We trim ours here because they're more on grassland.
Sure.
But they're very strong feet, and that's why we don't want the white element in it, because white horn is less strong than the black horn.
Absolutely.
Another thing about the coat in the winter is that we often see them with snow lying on their backs.
Right.
This shows that the coat is thick enough to keep the heat in without it dissipating sufficiently to melt the snow on top of the coat.
It's loft insulation, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
That's it. The top of the tail as well has a so-called snow chute. The hairs are longer there and shoot off the rain in that respect.
Excellent. Thank you very much. You can actually see how great their coats are from the rain point of view. You can see how their coat's sort of beading almost.
Yes.
How their
Yes,
tummies
how
are dry.
The water tracks away, yes. See this pattern in the flank is the most important one for draining the water off.
Oh, right. I think on him as well, you can see all the points you were talking about there, sort of head conformation.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got quite a big head, hasn't he? Really?
Yes, and quite broad, and then good depth to his jaw as well.
Definitely. And they've got an awful lot of mane. Is that something to do with their sort of survival and keeping them warm and that side of things, or is it just the way they are?
Just the way they are, really, I suppose. But yes, it would be involved a bit. Mm-hmm. Tansy's quite a dark one.
Yes.
She wouldn't many prizes in the show ring because she doesn't have enough shading underneath.
Right.
But the folds she produces are perfectly good usually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, because he's got quite nice shading, hasn't he?
Yes. You could do with a bit more around his eye. That's not bad. I tend to come when it's beginning to get dark and it doesn't look so good then.
So he's got the medium muzzle and the
bad.
toad eye, hasn't he? We were
Yes.
talking about.
Yes, your eye's not too bad, is it? We'll pass you.
And this little mare here, she's a bit darker as well, isn't she?
She's the darkest one, yes. Mind you, they don't look darker in the rain when they're wet.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
You saying about the
And also the tail.
what did you call the tail?
Snowshoe. they call it.
Snowshoe. That was it.
it's these tufty ears.
Longer
at the top.
hairs there.
So the
Get the
the
water
shorter
Shorter,
sort of bits
yeah.
encourage that to
Little
happen.
But she's got a woolly coat underneath the outer hairs, as it were.
So you can actually see on the look at kick now. On you've got the water sort of on the top and the wet hair, but underneath it does look dry.
Yes, it's dry from here down. It's dry from there because it runs off here, and drips off at it. It comes together that way.
You can actually see from the way that the hair is.
And it runs down here and drips off there in the front leg.
I see.
But it goes along there. It doesn't go down underneath. Some of them have a whirl here, but I don't think they originally did. It's just one.
She's got a great muzzle as well, hasn't she? You can really
yes.
see it on her.
Aye.
On her eye as well, actually.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
yes,
see them,
very
the
distinct, isn't it?
toad eye, so forth. The upper lid is quite fleshy. And they're quite big eyes as well. They can see almost behind them. They haven't got as much of a dead spot as some.
No. Again, I imagine that's an adaptation of their survival, really.
Yeah, the eyes are sort of on the side almost of the face.
She's quite big, quite big joints.
Yes.
Quite a bit of bone. And she's coming up 3 now. No, she's 3 this year.
She is.
3 now.